Formula One is about to enter one of the most important eras in its history. In 2026, the sport will introduce a completely new set of regulations that won't just change how the cars look, but how they race, how they overtake, and how power is delivered. These rules are designed to make Formula One cleaner, cheaper, and more competitive. But at the same time, they've sparked huge debate among fans and teams. Formula One's 2026 engine regulations mark one of the biggest shifts in the sport's history. The V6 turbo stays, but one key component is gone: the MGU-H. This system was complex, expensive, and difficult to master, which pushed costs sky high. In its place, electric power becomes the main focus. The MGU-K output jumps to around 350 kilowatts, meaning almost 50% of the car's total power will come from electricity. For the first time, Formula One will also run on 100% sustainable fuel. FIA says this makes the engines cheaper, cleaner, and more attractive to manufacturers like Audi and Honda. But critics aren't convinced. More electric power means quieter cars, heavier reliance on battery deployment, and races decided by energy management instead of pure engine performance. After decades of making Formula One cars bigger and heavier, the 2026 regulations are finally reversing that trend. The cars will be narrower, shorter, and around 30 kilograms lighter. This is meant to make them more agile, more responsive, and harder to drive. Modern F1 cars suffer heavily from dirty air, making close racing almost impossible. By reducing size and downforce, FIA hopes drivers can follow more closely without losing grip. But there's a trade-off. Smaller, lighter cars could become more unstable at high speeds, raising concerns about safety and drivability. Once again, the goal is better racing. But whether this actually works on track remains to be seen. One of the most controversial changes in the 2026 regulations is the complete removal of DRS. In its place, Formula One will introduce active aerodynamics. Instead of opening a rear wing in specific zones, the car itself will switch between high downforce and low drag modes. This system can be used by every driver at any time, with no DRS zones and no 1 second gap. FIA believes this will reduce dirty air and eliminate DRS trains, making overtakes feel more natural. But critics argue this is simply a high-tech push-to-pass system that could favor wealthier teams with better software and development. Once again, Formula One is trying to fix racing. But whether active aerodynamics improves competition or creates new inequalities remains one of the biggest questions of 2026. With DRS gone and electric power playing a much bigger role, overtaking in 2026 will depend heavily on energy management. Drivers will no longer wait for a DRS zone. Instead, they'll have to decide when to deploy electrical energy and when to save it. Using energy at the wrong moment could leave a driver vulnerable on the next straight. Using it perfectly could create overtakes that feel more earned and more skill-based. Supporters believe this will reward smarter drivers and better racecraft. Critics worry it could make racing too complex, with outcomes decided by software and energy maps rather than pure wheel-to-wheel action. Once again, Formula One is betting on strategy to improve racing. But whether this creates better overtakes or more frustration remains to be seen. At the heart of the 2026 regulations is one problem Formula One has struggled with for decades: dirty air. When cars produce extreme downforce, the turbulence behind them makes close racing almost impossible. In 2026, FIA is tackling this by reducing overall downforce and dramatically cutting drag. Combined with smaller, lighter cars and active aerodynamics, the goal is simple: allow drivers to follow more closely without losing grip. However, this approach comes with a trade-off. Less downforce means less cornering speed, potentially making the cars feel less spectacular. The 2026 regulations represent a clear philosophical choice, prioritizing closer racing over absolute performance. Whether fans will accept that trade-off may define the future of Formula One.